It's an awesome squad to be a part of. Plenty of elites which we look up to, like Ryan Sissons, Nicole Vanderkay, Taylor Reid, just to name a few. There's so many amazing athletes there.
G'day guys, I'm jumping back into the interviews today with Brea Roderick, one of, if not the top female junior triathlete right now in New Zealand. Like a couple of the other guests, Brea went to the 2018 Buenos Aires Youth Olympic Games, finishing top 10 in the individual race and second in the mixed team relay as part of that Australia-New Zealand relay, which is pretty cool. She also went to the Lausanne Junior World Championships last year and has still got a couple of years left as a junior. So yeah, it's going to be a great chat and hopefully you guys enjoy. Welcome Brea onto the channel. Thank you for coming on, the first Kiwi that I've had on. So pretty cool. Do you want to start off with a bit about yourself, like everyone else, you know, your age, your location and how you got into the sport?
Yeah. Well, my name is Brea Roderick. I'm 17 years old, from New Zealand, as Mitch said. I'm currently based in Cambridge in the North Island, but I'm originally from Canterbury in the South Island, so a bit of a country girl there. And I kind of just got into triathlon through school about like 4 years ago, so I was probably around 14ish, just local events, school, nothing exciting, just basic.
Yeah, and was it like a swim background, running background?
No, actually, I only started swimming 4 years ago. I'd been doing a little bit of running before that, but nothing big. It kind of all just came on at once, all of it.
Right, and you moved to Cambridge. Was that fairly recent as well? Like, are you still at school or?
No, I finished school at the end of last year and decided to move to Cambridge to train with the high performance squad up here, which has been really cool, and I've been really enjoying it ever since I moved up at the end of last year.
Right. And so right now, like, I believe New Zealand sort of went into their total lockdown, but you sort of come out on the other side of that now. So what does a typical day right now in that high performance setup sort of look like for you?
Well, at the moment we're still in what we call level 3 lockdown, so we are allowed to swim, but not in pools. So the closest available facility I can swim in is the lake, but winter in New Zealand isn't too kind, so it's been a bit too cold at the moment, so just leaving the swimming out currently. Biking and running wise, we're lucky enough that whilst in lockdown, we're allowed to bike and run outside. Just we had to keep it local. It was actually quite interesting to see how creative some people got with it. A lot of people ended up doing 100k rides on 1k loops. It's interesting to see over Strava and stuff. I didn't quite get involved in that, but it was cool to see. Otherwise, at the moment, just still biking, running. You can still do like indoor gym at your own house, but nothing's really open yet, not till next week, and hopefully we'll get back into more of a normal routine then.
Yeah, and like everyone else, have you been getting your fair share of Zwifting in?
I haven't been getting as much as others. I gave it a go. I wasn't the biggest fan of it to begin with, but it's growing on me. Yeah.
So talking about your squad for a little bit, who's the coach of that high performance setup and maybe some of the members?
Well, the coach on the ground here with us in Cambridge is Bruce Hunter, who is also my coach. And it's an awesome squad to be a part of. Plenty of elites which we look up to, like Ryan Sissons, Nicole Vanderkay, Taylor Reid, just to name a few. There's so many amazing athletes there. And then others my age, like Dylan McCulloch, Saxon Morgan. Yeah, we're pretty fortunate to have such a cool squad.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to have a pretty tight-knit squad. Like having those, I guess, more experienced members. I won't call them old, like Ryan's sister. Does that help with, learning bits here and there?
Yeah, for sure. Learn so much from them, and it's like interesting because when I was younger, I'd look up to them so much, and then you realise like when you're around them, like they're just normal people. They're so cool to be around. They go through challenges every day, just like everyone else, and yeah, I just learn so much from them.
Right, and is that a setup you're going to stay in for a while, or is there like in Cambridge?
Yeah, I'll stay here for uni in the Waikato. I plan on staying here for a very long time. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far.
Fair enough, and I assume then winter doesn't bother you too much?
I mean, it's not ideal. I'd much prefer being in Spain for the winter, but here we are in New Zealand. We'll just have to tough it out.
Yeah, fair enough. And then with training right now, because you are a 2002 born athlete, you still got another crack at Junior Worlds next year. Is that something that you're using to motivate yourself right now, or are you more so doing day-to-day, week-to-week kind of goals?
It is a big motivating goal, as I am fortunate enough to have another year as a junior with this year's World Champs being cancelled. Yeah, it's definitely a motivator, but for now I'm more going for the day-to-day approach, just taking each day as it comes and doing the best with what I can. And yeah, because just life's slowed down so much at the moment that there's not really too much we can do, just go through the paces of life.
And like Josh, you went to the Lausanne World Championships last year and got to travel in Europe. And I'll sort of ask the same question that I asked Josh, that, you know, it does look pretty cool going to all the different countries, but I'm sure it does have its challenges. So what was that sort of like for you?
It was an amazing experience for me. I absolutely loved it. I think I was travelling in total for 2.5 months last year during New Zealand's winter, European summer. It definitely isn't all flowers and rainbows, as they say. A lot of challenges to do with logistics and travelling, especially travelling with bike bags, suitcase, all of that stuff. It's not easy. Just a lot of waiting around, which people looking in on our lives on the outside wouldn't think of.
Yeah, and was languages and the luggage handling a challenge for you as well?
Yeah, Google Translate was definitely our best friend, as I'm pretty sure Josh said. Yeah, I'm not exactly experienced in any other language, so Google helped out a lot there.
Yeah, and did you have a favourite country in particular that you enjoyed racing in, or just visiting or training in?
I definitely enjoyed Switzerland, Lausanne, where the World Champs was. I also really liked Evian, France, which was just across the lake from Lausanne, where New Zealand did their pre-Worlds camp. That was so amazing, and I'd definitely like to go back there someday. And I also really enjoyed the Girona Banyoles camp we did in Spain. We were supposed to be heading back there this year, and that was just really nice.
Right, I'm sure hopefully next year you get to come back there. Yeah, I've seen heaps of photos of Spain, and that does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
So another race that you've done that's pretty cool as well is the Youth Olympics. Do you want to speak a bit about that, like maybe the preparation leading into the games, like how much training you were sort of doing and all of that sort of thing?
Yeah. Well, Youth Olympics was 2018, so about 2 years ago now. Leading into Youth Olympics, I don't think I changed anything in my normal daily training. We just wanted to keep it the same because I was, at the time while training, still 15, so there's no reason to up it up, volume of training at such a young age. So it was pretty consistent and all. And then the games itself was an amazing experience. It was just you couldn't even imagine what it was going to be till you got there. Village logistics was very interesting to do with getting from the village to the race venue. It was a 2-hour bus drive there and back, and we had to do that nearly every day. Yeah, it was really awesome. The race itself was also definitely a big learning experience because it was my first big international race in a foreign country. So I really had no expectations, and I kind of just gave it my all.
Right.
Yeah.
You actually ended up doing pretty well with the 9th there. When I interviewed Amber, she did actually mention you and say that you two worked well on the bike together. Obviously you probably didn't know that many people in the race. So what was the actual race itself like, from the swim to the bike to the run?
Well, from what I can remember of it, I think I came out just at the end of the first bunch in the swim, so just off the back, so I had a quick transition to get in the first bunch, chase pack, because there was a 2-person breakaway. And I definitely remember working with Amber on the bike. It was really good to have her in our bunch. Her and I just worked really well to try and bridge the gap, which we didn't really do. But yeah, at least I had her working hard with me. And then it was just a whole new experience, that level of racing. I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest, just giving it my best. My run was what it was, but it was really awesome, and I'm still friends with a lot of the girls that I raced with there today, which is so cool, and I've seen them at races in Europe and stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And so after being at an event like that, does that motivate you even more to try and make sort of major games?
Sure. it gave us like a good like taster into what the actual Olympics would be like, because it's obviously not the same, but it's the same experience, I guess, with the village and everything going on. So yeah, it's definitely a big motivator and was a real big eye opener.
Right. So are you sort of looking towards the next Com Games, next Olympics?
Don't want to rush yourself. We'll see what happens. Would love to go to the Olympics one day. Don't know which one, but one of them would be really cool.
So I guess for the rest of the year, do you have any plans in place with I don't know, racing you may have set up yourselves or in your training squad?
I really don't know. I think at the moment they're kind of just taking it day by day, week by week with planning, because we just don't know what's going on. At the moment we're just training throughout the whole year. Hopefully we can get a little Trans-Tasman bubble opening and we can come over to Australia, which would be really cool, and train over there. A bit warmer than it is here. But apart from that, it will probably just be training, local cycling races maybe, local cross-country races, but that'll be it for the rest of the year, I guess.
Yeah, so do you also do like a bit of cross-country on the side of triathlon?
I haven't really in the past, but this year we might have to try opening it up to a few swim, bike and run races as a single discipline.
Yeah, it's always pretty good fun. I imagine it would be quite cold there while you're cross country, but I'm sure it would be nice to just get out and race. And as you mentioned, hopefully that they can get that Trans-Tasman bubble, as you put it, towards the end of the year. That would be pretty cool. But before we wrap up, do you want to give a bit of advice to some, I guess, younger athletes that are aspiring to be, good junior athletes?
I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give is to have fun and enjoy it, as cliche as that sounds, because if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to improve, and you wouldn't do it if you didn't enjoy it. So like, while you're young, just still have fun with it all. Keep a balanced life, don't take it too seriously. You meet such amazing people in triathlon, you get to travel, it's such a cool sport, so just keep enjoying those sort of things and don't worry so much about the results.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
We like the balanced lifestyle aspect of that. I think it's super important.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you spending the time to come and talk. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that interview. It's pretty cool to hear what it's like over in New Zealand, and I will be getting another Kiwi on the channel in the near future, so stay tuned for that. However, on Friday I'm going to mix it up again in terms of sports, getting a swimmer onto the channel, Tyson Upton, so I will see you guys then. Cheers.